Sorry, you guys. I was just live and somehow it got disconnected or something like that. There was like some type of interruption. I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm going to put it back on in here so that you can guys all can come back on. Hey, 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 Muslim model. Hey, Erica, YF421. How are you? How are you? So, yeah, I just got disconnected. I'm not sure. There was like some interruption that went in there. I'm not sure what happened there, but we're going to get ourselves back reconnected here. So, we are talking about just what we should be doing right now. We are dealing with, COVID-19. We are dealing with, things that are going on right now that, it's the elephant in the room. It's the things that we don't necessarily want to address, and what is happening, what is going on right here. So we want to make sure that we are, kind of staying in the know, but that we are also kind of moving in a different direction. So the name of this broadcast, I thought that it was necessary. So, a lot of the clients that I have spoken to this week, they are in a place where they're unsure. Wa alaikum salam, wa alaikum salam. They're unsure as to what they should be doing right now. They're unsure as to, where we should be going. So I started to say a little bit earlier when I went live a little bit earlier that what I started to say is I started to talk about, what would I be doing right now? Right now, I would be getting ready for Juma services. Friday is my favorite day of the week. Hey, student loan doctor. Hey, Amidi HT. Assalamu alaikum. Hey, Muslim model. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah protect you as well, brother. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Right? So what would I be doing right now? I would be getting ready for Juma, which is the Muslims Friday prayer services. I would be on my way right now to doing that. Right now. That is exactly what I would be doing. I've been doing it every Friday for the last 3+ years, right? Hey, Nisreen niece, how are you? Long time no see, my sister. So that is what I would be doing right now. So being that that is not the case, being that we should be in a place where we are indoors, whether it's at a home office, whether you are, bunkering down with, family members. I know some people that have done that, where you're hunkering down with family members and you guys are all collectively together so that, you're just making sure that, you can get to one another in a hurry, right? So that is the reality of things. That is definitely what we should be doing. But one of the things is that I am a full-time entrepreneur. For those of you that don't know, I coach women of faith. So 90% of my client are Muslim women, but in essence, I coach all women. So again, 99% of my client are Muslim women or women of faith combined. And then I have that 1% that are men, right? So I have a few male clients that I support their businesses, right? And so, but I mostly deal with women. So literally every message that I have is mostly going to be for women. But of course, if you are a male, you can take away from it as well. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about and what I saw as a recurring theme, not only on my news feed, as far as, like my feed on Instagram, but I also saw it, as I was talking to the women on the line. A lot of them were stuck. These are, again, are full-time, business owners in most cases. A few of them that I have are part-time, right? And so a lot of what they're doing is that they're kind of like closing their shops down online. A lot of them have online stores. They're closing them. Some of them have physical stores, and of course they may have to close depending on the type of business that they have, right? If it is not an essential business right now, a lot of those businesses are closing. So you have like a T-Mobile, Verizon, those type of stores are closing, right? They're closing down. Their service is essential, but they can essentially operate their business online versus in stores, right? So those types of businesses are closing down. The essentials are, medical supply stores or, supermarkets, that kind of thing. So we are very much in the know. These are the businesses that right now are essential, that are right now at the top of people's mind, right? But one of the things that I wanted us to do is I wanted us to kind of like settle ourselves. And I wanted us to say to ourselves, okay, do we think that, there's a possibility that we may come out of this situation? Right. And, these were the conversations that I had with the women that I was talking to this week. So I still had my conference calls this week. I still had my one-on-one sessions. I still had my classes. So we are still operating. I am still operating normally. These people have paid me for a service. These people have registered for their classes. So I'm still operating as normal. And the reason why I'm doing this live right now is because I want us to make sure that we are trying to keep our lives as normal as possible. So although we may be in a space where, dare I say it, we're in a quarantine, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Is I want us to kind of start changing our verbiage, because by changing what verbally comes out of our mouth, it will start to change our mind state, and it will start to change the way that we're thinking right now. Hey, Boss Mom's Coach, assalamu alaikum. How are you? How are you? Peace and blessings be upon you. Loving all the hearts, you guys. I appreciate those. They're revving me up, revving up my engines. They're keeping me going, mashallah. So I appreciate those hearts there, right? Something is resonating with you. Make sure you throw up those hearts. I appreciate them, right? They let me know that I'm moving and shaking and what I'm saying is resonating, right? But I want us to start thinking about, okay, we're in this stage where we're kind of in closed spaces, we're in close quarters, whatever the case may be, right? So one of the things that I want us to think about is now we have an opportunity to sit with ourselves. Now we have an opportunity to start to really think and to really reflect on what we want our lives to look like, right? So we could start thinking about all of the things that we don't have right now, like I can't go outside, I haven't driven my car in days, that kind of thing, or, when am I going to be able to get back outside? We could literally start to reflect on everything that we don't have. Hey, sis Benor, how are you? Welcome. Walaikum salam. So we could really be reflecting on those things. We could be talking about everything that was taken away since this started. Some of us have actually been in this state maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks or longer, because I have a lot of people that live overseas. So your state may be a little bit more grave than other people, right? That are on here. So we're all in mixed situations here. But one of the things that we have that, we have a few things at our disposal right now that we could be using to our benefit, right? So right now we're using one of them, right? We're actually using two of them, really. We're possibly using a mobile device. It could be your phone, it could be your laptop, it could be your iPad, some type of mobile device for you to actually be able to see me on this live right now. The second thing that you're using is your internet. Again, we're going to come back to that later, right? The other thing too that you could be using right now is you could be using the power that is within you, and that's the power of positivity, right? We have the power within ourselves to be able to think positively or to think negatively. And I am not going to say that within this last, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right, that there have not been times where I'm like, man, this looks crazy right now. I have gone into those spaces. But one of the things that I have trained myself to do, being in business for 3+ years and also having been an entrepreneur for many years, one of the things that I have taught myself to do is I've taught myself to kind of turn that switch off. So when I'm going into that negative vein, when I'm going into that negative space, one of the things that I do is I say to myself, you know what? I need to kind of turn this off. And I need to pivot and go back into the direction that I want to go. I need to go into the direction that I want things to be, right? So if we want things to be more positive right now, right? Absolutely, resilience. We were created that way. We were created to overcome the situations and absolutely pivot. You are correct, Boss Mom's Coach, right? So one of the things that we need to be doing is we need to be using our mind to focus on the things that we want to focus on. And one of the things that I did a few days ago is I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching the news and I stopped, kind of feeding into all of these posts and all of these different things that I was seeing online, right? Now, of course, I want to stay abreast. I want to make sure, I have a child that goes to school, so I want to make sure that I'm staying abreast of those type of things, right? So there are times where I turn on the news. So I could turn on the news literally at 1 o'clock, or I could turn on the news at 10 p.m. and the news will be exactly the same, and I'll get everything that I need to know. 10 minutes, 15 minutes of me watching the news at 1 o'clock or at 10 o'clock, I'll be able to get everything that I need to be able to keep me abreast of what's going on outside of the four walls of, my apartment right now, right? So I can do that, right? One of the other things too is that, I've created a space. So, for me, going to prayer service is like the highlight of my week. It's the time where I can go and I can connect with some of my sisters. I can connect, just with my community. And I feel like I'm refreshed and I'm renewed when I go to the masjid. Some of you may get that through church. Some of you may get that by going to your, house of worship, right? Some of you, may get that, reading your book of choice, right? So whatever the case may be, you've got to create that sacred space space for yourself in the space that you're in right now. So it may be, putting down a prayer rug. It may be, getting your Bible, getting your Quran, and making a prayer space, like a sacred spirit prayer space for yourself. Whatever that looks like for you, create that type of space for yourself where you can go and you can get recentered, and you can go and you can, start to connect. One of those things that I do is I look at the news and I look at what's going on outside, again, of these four walls right before I'm about to pray. So if I know prayer service, prayer starts at 1 o'clock, the Lord comes in at 1 o'clock here. What I do is okay, let me turn on the news really quickly. Let me get my news. And then once I go into prayer, I'm shaking all of that off. I'm shaking off, what I just learned, and I'm tunneling, I'm funneling it into a different way, inshallah, right? So God willing, right? So that's one of the things that I want you guys to do right now, is I want you to focus your energy. So you have 3 tools at your disposal that I'm covering right now. You have many tools at your disposal, but for the purposes of this live, I'm going to talk about 3. And the first one is your mindset. The first one is tunneling your mindset. Mashallah, I am not in that state, boss mom's coach, so I will see you when you get back. So I'm not praying right now, so please say a prayer for me, and I will see you right when you get back, right? Yes, so staying in, that consistent space of prayer and of being able to tunnel your positive mindset. The other 2 things that I talked about a little bit earlier, and I said that I was going to go back to, is I talked about your phone, and I talked about the internet, right? So one of the things that I want us to do right now is I want us to start brainstorming. For a lot of the people that follow me on my page, they are either full-time entrepreneurs, part-time entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and some are, full-time employees. Assalamu alaikum, Fatima 1998M. How are you? How are you? I see you, my sister. I see you. So, a lot, those are the people that follow me, and you may be at different stages in your business. You may be selling a different type of product. It doesn't matter. If you've come across this live, you come across this page, stay tuned, possibly take your pen and a piece of paper out, because I'm going to give you a few things for you to think about after you come off this live and possibly, work on, right? So we talked about prayer, we talked about meditation and getting in that positive mindset. The other thing too is that I find when I'm, after I come out of prayer, or I sit for a little while and I do like some meditation, and meditation for me is just breathing in and out and just allowing, thoughts to freely flow through me, right? That's what meditation means to me. It could mean different things for other people. I've taken yoga classes, and I've done different type of meditation techniques through yoga. So there's all different kinds, but the type I'm talking about and the type that I do is what I just named, right? But one of the things that happens when after prayer and I meditate is that I start to get ideas. They start to flow, and I start brainstorming. And I always make sure that I have like a little notepad or a piece of paper right next to me after I finish prayer, because ideas and thoughts always come to me. And so for those of you that currently have a business, these are the women that I started my live with, that I was talking about, that I was talking to them throughout the week, and then they were in a down place, and they're like, I don't feel like promoting my business. I don't feel like, I feel like, I am, taking money away from people because, my business is not one of those necessity businesses right now. Hey, sisters in business, how are you? How are you? How are you? Sisters in business, what time is it where you are? I know you're in the UK. What time is it there? And then please tell me in the comments how you're doing, right? So one of the things, a lot of businesses right now, they're not going live, they're not posting on their page, they're not communicating with their clients, they're not sending out emails, they're not sending out anything, right? Because they feel like their business is not, wa alaikum salam, habibti, wa alaikum salam. So they feel like their business is not an essential business. Now, for my particular client, if I were to do that, my clients make between $10,000 and $50,000 a month, right? So those are the clients that I have. Those women would be extremely, extremely, extremely upset at me if the services that I offered them, I was like, you know what? I shouldn't be promoting my business because my business is, kind of a luxury. It's not something that people need. That's the furthest thing from the truth. I am the backbone to those women's businesses. So if I were to shut down what I do because I felt like, my business was not a necessity, then those women essentially would go out of business. And the businesses that they have, they wouldn't be able to operate, because I essentially handle all of their back end work. I handle their email marketing. I handle their websites. I make sure that everything is updated on their websites. Anything that you see in the background, that companies do as far as like their websites are concerned, as far as their marketing is concerned, that's what I'm doing for my clients. So, when their website goes down, I'm the one that's on the phone in the background like, hey, we need to get this website up and running. This particular feature on the website is not working properly. We're experiencing a lag in this particular area, whatever the case may be, right? So imagine if I, BUNHD LLC, if I decided to stop promoting my business, if I decided to stop, working for these women in the background, right? Their businesses essentially would go down. And so, you see how it's a catch-22, right? It's the same thing for you, right? Mashallah, she said 5 p.m., alhamdulillah, I'm glad, right? So that is essentially what would happen if I were to go down. And you have to think about that with your business. And one of the sisters said a little bit earlier, she was talking about the pivot, right? And so some of you may have businesses right now that are not, a main focus right now. You may have a product that is not a main focus. I'm just going to throw this out there, no shade to anyone, but t-shirts, right? I sell t-shirts myself on my website. T-shirts are not selling right now. My book is selling because people want the information that is in my books. I'm selling some of my children's books and that kind of thing. Those things are going out right now, but my t-shirts are not going. Someone's not buying the t-shirt right now, right? So with that being the case, what I'm going to promote is I'm going to promote my books. I'm going to promote the different programs that I have going on that will help people right now, like I'm doing this live right now. This right now is helping someone. It's helping someone possibly dig themselves out of a situation where they may not have money coming in because they're not promoting their business. So that's why I'm doing this live right now, because I feel like, who you are and what you're doing is going to be of benefit to someone, right? And it may be of benefit to multiple people, right? And so you just want to make sure that you are, continuing to promote yourself. So let's use the example of a t-shirt business, right? So you may not promote your t-shirt business, but what is a product that you could offer the same audience that would be of benefit to them right now? Could you offer them a class and show them how you were able to start your business? Could you offer them a class that shows them, I have a lot of businesses that are stylists, right? So right now, a lot of these people are not able to come. I wish I could do something sitting home and home job. Fatima 1998M, tell me a little bit about what do you like to do? What do you find interesting? And give me a couple of your skills and I'll try to help you right now on this live. Hey Taisha love, welcome. How are you, right? So we have this, so we have these women that are own a hair salon right now. Nobody's going into their hair salon. They may have a few people that are coming in, right? But for someone who may be used to making 5-6 figures a month, doing, different hairstyles on a person, they may not be making that right now. But do they have a product that they can sell right now that would help their clients be able to do their hair at home? And do they have the ability to get a box and put those products in a box and ship and tape it up, put an address on it and ship those products to a client at home? Do they have the ability to teach a class right now to where they can show someone how to take care of their hair at home? Do they have the ability to say, hey, wait a minute, sis, everybody has a skill. Everybody has a skill. Everybody has a skill. So please don't tell me that. If you are able to open your mouth and you're able to speak, that is a skill. You are a master communicator if you're able to open up your mouth and you're able to speak to someone. So everyone has a skill. Okay. So do better. Do better than that. If you don't want to say it on this live, Fatima 1998M, please inbox me. Just inbox me a couple of questions that you have, your skill, whatever. But sis, no, we're not doing that. I'm not going to let you get away with that. If you want to come off the live for a quick second, turn it off for a second, close your eyes and brainstorm for a few seconds. I'll still be on here for another 5 to 10 minutes or so, right? But everybody has a skill. So I want you to rethink that thought. Hey, Uzma B. Ahmed, how are you? Welcome. Assalamu alaikum, right? So, just using that example, man, get that box, get that tape, put a label on it and ship that bad boy out, right? So it's just being able to pivot and just being able to think differently. And that's one of the things that I want us to do while we're, in this space where, if we want to say quarantine, if we will, right? And that's second point. So I talked about, wa alaikum salam. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Hey, All Fashion 35, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll give you a tip too. Some of you may have a boutique, right? You may have a store. Is there a way that you can move your products online? Is there a way right here on Instagram? You can go right here on Instagram. You can take a picture of a product that you have, a dress, a hijab, a jacket, whatever the case may be. Take a picture of it, post it up on your page, and put it out there. Hey, these are the products that we have in our store right now. I know that you can't get into our store right now, but we have the ability to ship these products to you. It's a $7 flat rate for shipping. Boom, have at it, right? But you don't have a website, you don't have any of these things because you weren't prepared for this, but you can pivot. Your family still needs to survive. I was seeing on different pages, sisters closing down, their stores, sorry sisters, I have to close down my store. Listen, I understand. Physically, no one is allowed to come into your store, but is there a way that you can get some of those products possibly into your home and that you can get those products shipped out to people if they're still willing to buy them, right? One part of the world is not experiencing the same thing as the other part of the world. So, some places they have lifted some of the quarantine. Some places they're in, full quarantine mode, whatever the case may be. But we need to stop thinking locally and start thinking globally, right? Right now, I am speaking to people that are in Morocco. Right now, I'm speaking to people that are in the UK. Right now, I'm speaking to people that are in the US. You see how small the world has become just by using the two of the three tools that I talked about, right? I'm using my phone and I'm using my internet right now, and I'm able to, promote my message across, right? I'm promoting my message across the world, actually, right? I just named 3 continents in one, in one moment, right? So brainstorming. So thinking about, what you can be doing right now, right? So thinking about what you can be doing right now. 3 of the things that we're focused on this year is we're focused on faith, we're focused on family, and we're focused on finances. It's amazing how this COVID-19, right, is actually a blessing to us, because what it has allowed us to do is it allowed us time to be able to develop our faith, to be able to spend some time on spiritual development, right? And maybe we're spending more time with the Quran, the Bible, whatever your book of choice is, right? Maybe we're spending more time, connecting to the Creator, where we're praying, we're in active prayer, right? Maybe we're doing that. The second thing is family, right? Right now, I'm here, with my daughter, right? Normally, my daughter is in school right now. I'm doing my work here at home, and now we are, having, that connection. We're having that one-on-one time. We're talking about, even more things, right? So I'm thankful that I have a great relationship with my children, and, I'm able to talk to my children all the time. But this is creating a different dynamic for us, and then an even closer, dynamic for us, right? So family, right? And then the last thing is finances. So maybe right now, right in this moment right now, maybe you don't physically have an idea, like our sister, time to find ourselves. There you go, Fatima. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. Now you're moving and shaking, right, sister? So for you, Fatima, and for anyone who may be on here who may have been too shy, first of all, let's applaud Fatima for speaking up and say, hey, I don't have a skill, because guess what? She could have kept telling herself that narrative. I don't have a skill. I don't have a skill. I'm not going to let her leave out of this realm right now thinking that she doesn't have a skill, because everybody on here has a skill. Everybody has something that they can monetize, basically, that they can put a dollar amount to, and they can get it out there, whether it's a physical product or it's a, just a product that can help someone, right? So it could be a class, it could be a webinar that could help someone, right? So, just, you're welcome, Habibti, you're welcome. And look, she's got her little sweat bead. I see it, mashallah, right? And so then talking about finances, right? So a couple of things should be happening right now. We should be talking about a budget right now. You probably have been moving and shaking, and, the check comes in every 2 weeks, or whatever the case may be. If you have a full-time job, even if you're an entrepreneur, the checks you were probably just flowing in with the checks, right? Not even worried about it. Every single day, money is flowing into your business. You're not even worried about it right now. Right now, though, we should be taking a step back, and we should be thinking about budget. We should be thinking about, okay, for the next, 4 to 6 months, what will it look like? What is a possibility for it to look like? What does my budget look like? How much is my rent, my lease, my mortgage, my car payment, whatever the case may be? How much are those things, right? What are some of the things that I have been paying for that I can omit off of my plate right now, right? So is there something that's additional that you have that's your you're doing that you can take off your plate right now. Not only should you be thinking about your spiritual development, but you should be thinking about your personal development, and you should be thinking about your business development, right? So you should be thinking about the time that you're spending in all three of those particular areas, right? Again, you see how we're dealing faith, family, and finances. That's spiritual development, personal development, and business development, right? And so if you are a full-time employee right now, some of you are in the situation where you may be a full-time employee, but now you have been reduced to part-time pay. Are you able to live off of that? And the answer is no. You should have a pen and a piece of paper out, and you should be brainstorming some ideas on how you can create, a business that will supplement your income that you are getting while you may be, at reduced hours or off work and that kind of thing, right? The second thing is that, just thinking of finance wise, your budget, thinking about creating, a business, and then thinking about, what people need right now. So thinking about a product that they need right now. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an employee that is working from home, and if you are a person that is looking to improve familial relationships, these are the things that you should be focused on. One of the things that I wanted to think about, I don't know if any of you have watched this movie. Hey, Siraj Store, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? How are you? How are you? Right? So Siraj Store, welcome. We are talking about, COVID-19 and what we should be doing right now. So you guys have known me for a long time, and you guys know that everything that I'm thinking about faith, family. I'm always thinking about my sister and my brothers, because I know some of my brothers are on here, and I'm thinking about how we can improve our finances. I wish that everyone, while I actually started looking over my budget this morning, sis, let me tell you something, you are in the right place. Look over your budget, write down everything that you're spending money on right now. Be honest with yourself. How much is that food bill? How much are you spending on entertainment, luxuries, all that good kind of stuff, right? Like really sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and write down those things, and then start omitting some of those things right now. And I would say for the next 60 days, I would look at what that looks like right now. Right now, my reality right now is that my daughter will be out of school until April 20th. And I'll be honest with you, just looking at the conversations on the news, just looking at everything, these children may not go back to school this year. Right? Especially if you're on the East Coast. In my mind, I've already put that in my head. If my daughter does not go back to school, what is that going to look like, right? So settling into that reality as far as her doing her virtual learning, at school and all that kind of stuff, right? And then on the second hand of it, how can we utilize this for her own personal development, for her own financial development? How can she spend, money that she earns? How can she spend that money differently? How can she utilize that money differently? So those are some of the things that we'll be talking about, the conversations that my daughter and I will be having, and possibly something that you want to do with your children too. Possibly include them in that budgeting conversation. Teach them how to budget. So the situation that you're in right now, that you may possibly in right now, that your children don't end up in that situation, right? So one of the things that I wanted to cover with you guys is that I'm going live here because, again, I want to help somebody on this live. And literally, you can take the information. I drop gems on this live. So if you were really, paying attention, I drop gems here. But I do want to offer you guys something that you can take away from this, right? So if some of you are in a space where, you're confused as to what to do, you have a business right now, and you're confused as to what you want to do right now, I want to be able to help you. Second thing is if you are in a space where you have always been thinking about starting a business for yourself, but you don't know where to start, you don't know the first thing about getting started with a business, I want to be able to help you right now. Hey, Miss Stays in Business, how are you? I like your name. I've seen you before in some of my lives. Welcome, 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 right? So I want to be able to help you. And so because I have additional time right now, I have created a class. So I sat here myself and I said to myself, you know what do people need right now? And what people need right now is people need to be uplifted. So I already have a class that's in place right now. It's called, from a spiritual standpoint, it's called the Pre-Ramadan Challenge. It's going on right now. You can click the link in my bio and you can read a little bit. Assalamu alaikum, the Boss Moms Coach. How are you? Welcome back. So I have a class right now. If you are looking to kind of receive some upliftment in your faith, I have a class going on right now. It's called the Pre-Ramadan Challenge. It is going on every single Thursday up until April 2nd. April 2nd is our last class. Hey Amina, assalamu alaikum, how are you? So we actually started on March 12th. Yesterday we had our class, so beautiful. And it's just a group of sisters. There are over 30 sisters in this class. We had a more intimate class yesterday because everyone did not join. So I anticipate having, a little bit more of a closer knit class as well in the upcoming week. So our next class is on the 26th. It's just $5 to join that class, and we meet via Zoom. So just the same way that we are experiencing this live right here, we will continue to meet for the next 2 weeks for that class. And it's a way to get refocused in your faith, whether you're Muslim or not. So we have people that are not Muslim in that class, and they are learning, they're just looking for ways to reconnect with their faith. So they are in the class too. So it's a nice mix of women there. There's no question too silly. There's no question too like, anything like that. So we have those women in our class. The next thing that I wanted to offer you guys, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys, is this is the class that I am offering. It is coming up and it will start April 2nd. So it is much like this live right here, but we're actually going to go into a little bit more depth. The name of the class is Jumpstart Your Startup. And so there are two things. So the type of client that I get on my consultant calls, and by the way, my consultant calls are $150. So they last about an hour and a half, and I help you to kind of brainstorm. So that is not what I'm offering you right now. What I'm offering you right now is actually a group coaching call, and the group coaching call, what we'll cover in our group coaching call is we'll actually cover some of the ways that you can get started in your business. So this is for aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners who want to give their business a jump start, but don't know where to begin. So just like I said a little bit earlier. And so this class will start on April 2nd. So that is the next that April 2nd will be a Thursday as well, and it will start at 8 p.m. right? And so week one, this is going to be a 3-week class. Week one, we will cover how to build the business and or income stream, right? So some of you may want to go full-fledged into having a business for yourself. You may want to get that EIN number and all that good kind of stuff. I will teach you how to do that, right? Others of you may just want to create a product and create a product that you want to sell, or an income stream that you want to sell. Like I mentioned, you may be in hair care, and maybe you want to create some type of hair serum or shampoo or something like that that people can use, that they can that you can sell, and that you can sell to people that have to take care of their hair at home right now, probably for the next 60 days or so, right? The other thing is week 2, we'll be talking about the products. So creating products that sell. So creating products right now that are viable in the marketplace. I'm going to get back to your questions. I'm 21. Am I too young for that, sis? No. We have children as young as 9. Where's the Boss Moms Coach? Boss Moms Coach, please tell us how old your daughter was when she created and wrote her first book. Please put it in the comments, Boss Moms Coach, how old your daughter was when she wrote her first book and she became an entrepreneur. Please tell her, Fatima. So create products that sell. So what would sell right now? So we will take a deep dive into that. And then the last thing is week 3, we will talk about marketing, and we will talk about selling. How do you sell, online? Thank you, Boss Moms Coach. Boss Moms Coach daughter was 9 years old when she wrote her book. So she was 9 years old when she wrote her book and sold it. So yeah, 21, please. 21, listen, let me tell you something, sis. 21, I had been in business for like 3 years. I was doing trips to Dorney Park. So that was like my first taste at entrepreneurship, is that I started doing trips to go to Dorney Park, Six Flags, Hershey's. I would get people together, and people from high schools and that different type of thing, and I would get like church groups, that kind of thing together, and I would coordinate the bus trips. For every bus trip that I coordinated, I made $400, and I would do a couple of those a weekend, right? So just imagine how much money I was making, at that age, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? How much money I was making at that time doing bus trips on the weekend. So people think about business differently. People people think about the business as this like formal thing. They think about business as this like scary thing, and business is not scary. If you have a passion for it, if you have, if it's easy, if it comes easily to you, but it's harder for other people, you can create a business around that. I promise you, right? So though, that's the mindset that I want you guys to have. So I have created this class. It's called Jumpstart Your Startup. It's a 3-week class, and it begins on Thursday, April 2nd at 8 o'clock p.m. And it will run for 3 weeks. So that's April 2nd, April 9th, and April 16th are the days where we'll meet at 8 o'clock. The class will run for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we will really take a deep dive. If you found this live, beneficial, imagine what you'll be able to receive in the class. And the cool thing is that the class is only going to be $20. So for that 3 weeks, I'm not trying to hit anybody over the head. I want you to be able to get the benefit, and I want you to start to think differently about how business works. I'm only going to take 50 people in this class, so I would recommend that you get jump started on this. I average about 50 people per class minimum when I do classes like this. So I would get started on this. So again, get started on it right now. $20 to join this class, Jumpstart Your Startup. And trust me, I will be giving you all the game. I will giving you all the tools and tips to either start a business or create an income stream in the current business that you have. Boss Mom's Coach said $20 is a steal, y'all. Boss Mom's Coach, we have worked together before. Listen, she is a powerhouse as well. And alhamdulillah, I'm glad that is, my reputation. Listen, if I can help you do something, I want to be able to help you do it. And anybody who knows me, I'm doing it with ihsan. I'm doing it in excellence. So, I am doing it in a space where, like, listen, we need to get you going, sis. We need to get you to a space where you are thriving and not where you are struggling, right? So we're not struggling. We're also not in this situation. So one of the things that I said that I was going to go back to is this word quarantine. I want you to not take away that word quarantine. You are not in quarantine. You are actually in transformation. So you are in a space where you are going to have a transformation at this time, right? So now the thing is, we don't know how long this transformation period is going to end, but trust and believe that this transformation and this time that you have for this transformation is exactly the amount of time that you need to be able to go through this transformation, to where you need to change your mindset, whether you are focused on spiritual development, whether you are focused on personal development, whether you are focused on business development. And if I were to give you some tips, I would say to you to be focused on all three of those particular areas. Hey, Sunny and Zenby, my girl, love you. Welcome. Hey, Jazz Talk God, how are you? Welcome. So, I want you guys to join this class. It's called Jumpstart Your Startup. It's just $20 to be able to join. And again, we'll be talking about how to build the business, build an income stream. Hey, Concrete Rose Lifts, welcome. And basically the gist of this, if you're just joining the live right now, we were talking about COVID-19 and what we should be doing right now. We should not be, in this state where we're laying down. One of the things that I was thinking about when I was thinking about going live is I was thinking about the movie Their Eyes Were Watching God, and it's with Halle Berry. I think like Oprah Winfrey produced it or something like that. And one of the things that I got that was a takeaway from that movie is that we could literally lie down and die. Right. So we could literally take this situation and just lie down and just wait to, die. One of the lines in the movie that Halle Berry says is you can get busy living or you can get busy dying. Right. And so we can, say that, okay, this is, I'm going to die this way. I may fall victim to, COVID-19, fall victim to the virus, and okay, oh, well. Right. Or we can take this opportunity and we can say to ourselves, how can we flip this situation on its head? And that was I was just talking about. Hey, Boss Mom's Coach said powerful. Yes, my sister, right? So we could turn this on its head and we can start to exactly a mindset shift. We can turn this thing on its head and we can say, you know what? I'm going to take control over, myself in this situation. So we may not be able to control the spread of COVID-19 per se, right? But we can do our individual part. So what we're trying trying to do, and the reason why we're freaking out, is because we're trying to take on this thing as a whole. But what we need to take control of is we need to take control over ourselves. So putting ourselves in a state where we're coming inside and we're not contributing to, the air pollution outside. We're not contributing to the spread of it. Maybe we don't physically have it, but maybe on our clothes, maybe, it's on our clothes or something like that. It's we're transferring it and someone has touched us or bumped into us, whatever the case may be, and it's spread that way. So the person ends up getting it, but you know what I mean? Panicking, I love it, Fatima. You got it, sis. She said, panicking too much will kill you. Absolutely. You'll put yourself into a state of depression. Do you know that thinking too negatively, you can actually make yourself sick? Like you can start to have, physical symptoms of sickness just by the way that you're thinking. You don't actually have a sickness, but because you're thinking negatively, you're creating your own sickness within yourself. It's mind-boggling, but I've actually had conversations. Let me tell you something. If you've ever been in an Uber, they're like the best conversations. I actually had a conversation with an Uber driver, and he talked about how he was able to overcome a sickness. Like he actually had like some type of I don't know if it was like high blood pressure or something like that. He had something like that. And, the doctor was basically telling him that he can reverse it, and he can reverse it through diet. And he recommended he recommended this book. And after he recommended this book, like it started him like on this spiral of going into this different state. And he drives Ubers as a way to live the lifestyle that he wants to live. So he likes coaching people with diet and just like transformation. So he's driving Ubers right now to kind of supplement his income while he grows that particular business. It's amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing, right? So Jumpstart Your Startup will start on April 2nd at 8:00 p.m. It's just $20 to join for 3 weeks. Listen, flat $20 for 3 weeks. I know a lot of people always get confused because we're overthinking, right? And we're like, oh, it's $20 per week or whatever. No, it's $20 flat for the 3 weeks. And we will meet every single Thursday starting April 2nd at 8:00 p.m. And we will, at the end of this, you will have either a business itself or you will have a product or both, right? That you can sell, that you can get started right now. So we can use this opportunity where we are, in, this period of transformation. We can use this opportunity to create a business, to create an income stream from it. So I'm excited to get to know all of you. The link will be available in my bio. As soon as we get off this call, the link will be available in my bio. You can DM me the word Jumpstart and I will send you guys the link. So right now, take yourself off the live. If you're interested in the class, type in the word Jumpstart and I'll be happy to send you guys the link as the link right after I do this live. So if you have any questions, if there's a particular thing that you would like to know, I'll hang around for about 30 to 60 seconds to be able to answer your questions really quickly. And there is no question that is off limits. So if you ask a question, I'll be happy to give you the answer while we're on this live here. For anyone who watches this later, if you don't see the link in the bio or you're having trouble with the link in the bio, please just DM me the words Jumpstart and I will be happy to send you the link via DM. Fatima says, it was great knowing about you. Alhamdulillah, it was great meeting you, Fatima. And I'm looking forward to the business that you develop or the income stream that you develop, inshallah. So I'll be excited to connect with you in that way. All right, you guys. So if there are no additional questions, I'm going to jump off of here. This live, inshallah, will be available in my stories. I'm going to try to make it an IGTV, just if you want to come back later on and you want to get that boost, some empowerment, some sunshine, some brightness, some upliftment, you can come back and watch this video. So I will talk to you guys soon. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.